I'm your host, Lo, and this is Mic Drop Sun Drip, the show where we drop truth and speak light into you. This is the show for those ready to awaken to their full power, live from love, bask in golden divine light, embody abundance and divine wealth. Drop into your heart and feel it all in your body. You can watch on YouTube or listen on all podcast platforms. Here we go. Oh, and one more thing. You have a spark of the divine in you. Act accordingly. Welcome to Mic Drop Sun Drip, the show where we drop truth and speak light into you. And today is a very, very special day because I have my beautiful soul sister and friend, Brenda Suarez, the one and only, here. And what you can expect from any of these conversations is truth, love, light. We are channels for the divine. We are embodied in who we are, and we wish the same for you. And so today's conversation is going to be life-changing. So buckle your seatbelt. Buckle up. Hi, BB.
So excited. Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. I feel so empowered just by sitting next to you.
Oh my God.
Like this dynamic goddess reflection is so beautiful. And I think one of the things that we may, likely get into is just sisterhood. Yeah. Sisterhood. And I think even just us sitting here embodying ourselves as individuals, you can see the duo. You can see the sisterhood as we both take up space, and we realize that we can take up all the space and not dim anyone else. Right. So I feel like that's one of the very many things that we are here to teach. So it's beautiful to already just even the way that we're sitting, how we're dressed, we can see each other and each other's totality and be so excited about it. So
pumped. I was saying to B earlier that we have worked lifetimes for this moment. Yes. And this is not just this lifetime. There has been so much sacrifice and suffering and lessons learned and mastered. And now we are here to be very public, very open. And we're not here to teach your basic matrix stuff, are we?
So,
no. Stepping onto this stage is not... It's been a long road for both of us. And I think one of the things that's really powerful that we have to share is our journey to this moment. So I would love for you to start wherever you feel is going to be the most beneficial for you to share and for everyone watching and listening, because you have lived quite a lifetime so far.
Quite a lifetime. I think the first thing that comes to my mind off top is body. So, as Lo mentioned, my name is Brenda Suarez, and I have just experienced so many things throughout this journey. I mean, if we go back to childhood, we can talk about all the things all the triggers, all the traumas, all the things that cultivated us to be the adults that we are today. But body is something that I think we have so much in common, and how we have viewed ourselves, how we view ourselves even today. To be transparent, when I first saw this, I was like, oh, okay, I know that I look that way, but when you see it at a particular angle, or when you see it, and it's really about learning to love in the present moment. And so I started pole dancing in 2016 after a really toxic, low vibrational relationship where I put myself as a far second if I was even on the spectrum at all. And pole dancing is what just expanded me. I always love to say it's what helped me and taught me how to look up. Every time I was always looking down, looking to the side. I could not look in this big mirror. It was just the most daunting thing to look at myself exactly as I was, until little by little, I started to dismantle all those emotions, all those triggers, all those attachments, all of the emotional abuse that I received as a child, that you're not good enough, you're so beautiful, but you need to lose weight. It was always the but. You have such a pretty face, but... And all of my cousins to this day are skinny mini girls. I'm the only girl that's thicker. I'm just meant to be that. That's my body. And it was always just put to the side. And, when you get older, you're going to get surgery. And when you get older, this and this. And so that sticks with us, right? And I think that for everyone in the audience, man, woman, however you identify, whatever your journey is, whether you grew up with the silver spoon in your mouth or you grew up sleeping on the dirt, we could all relate to body. We could all relate to not seeing ourselves exactly as we are and having this distorted view of what the reflection actually is. And I feel like that's the core of where a lot of our trauma comes from, not feeling safe in our body, regardless of what it physically looks like. When you continue to go deeper, then it's like, okay, what emotions am I attaching to this? So pole dancing helped me to dismantle all of that. Started in 2016. 2017, I started my plant medicine journey. That was the very first time that I got into that. And so for the audience, I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a medicine woman, and I facilitate local and international medicine ceremonies. And so I started working with the medicine in 2017. My very first medicine was rapé and bufo, both of those together. And it was the most life-changing experience. And I realized in that moment that I am the universe, that the way that I take care of my temple is directly tied to how I take care of the universe. If I have to take care of myself, I have to take care of the universe. And so here it started this beautiful journey of taking care of my temple. We lost 100 pounds. We gained the confidence. We did all the things. And ever since then, these last couple of years have been understanding that we are ever evolving creatures. Through all of the tragedy that we've experienced, I've been in hurricanes, I've experienced floods, I've experienced heartbreak in so many different ways, reunited with really important, pivotal people in my life, and through all of that, I can say leading with love and understanding who I am at my core throughout all, like going deeply, outside of the physical and what I look like, and just understanding who who Brenda is at her core is what has gotten me through all of this. So I'm a big believer that we are the medicine. We have the medicine inside. And yes, I've had mentors, and yes, I've had dance floors, and yes, I've had shamans leading the way, and beautiful community and beautiful people in my life. But the person that has gotten me here is me. And my life's purpose is to help everybody understand that it's within us. It's here, it's in us. And I think that's the main thing that we can all relate to. The struggle of not knowing who we are, exploring ourselves, feeling as if we can't explore ourselves to our totality because society, because parents, because when I look in the mirror, I'm not going to like what I see. And so I'm here to be bold and out there. And I think that's one of the things that makes us be so in union together. We're not meant to be small. We can try. We have tried. And I think that's another thing that, the universe can relate to, the community. We have all tried to make ourselves small, and some of us are still there. And so we're here to teach. We're going to take up space. And taking up space with someone like you is truly an honor. So.
The energy that B brings ain't like no other. The energy flowing around this room, it is an honor to know you in this life. I've known you a long time, a lot of lives. And when I look at you, I see me. And that is the first thing that comes to mind when I hear you talk about the very painful, transformative, alchemical, phoenix rising journey that you have taken with the body, with love, with family, with healing, with breaking ancestral trauma and cycles and patterns. I see what I have to live. And we need our mirrors. We need our people to move through this life with grace, ease, joy, and the divine will. I've been thinking a lot about will, sheer will to make it, to push forward, to transmute pain, to alchemize, and to release and let go of these experiences we had so we don't project them into our present and future, And I think you and I have had to learn such painful lessons over and over again. And to me, a lot of what you and I have had similar is betrayal of self. We've just betrayed ourselves for the sake of other people pleasing, rejection, fear of all of that, rejection, unworthiness, abandonment, whatever it is, it's all swirling around in that blender. And I know it is for most people. And for me, I'm with you on taking up space and what that really looks like. When I look at myself in this camera and I'm like, oh, okay, there you are.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's me.
And I'm like, okay, here we go. So, it's like a joke, but the soul looks in the mirror and is like, I'm in this thing, and this vessel, this temple is so sacred. It is of the divine, and it was chosen by us for this mission in this lifetime. And I would offer that to everyone watching. The vessel you are in, your soul chose, and it is perfectly constructed and coded to carry out your mission. And so decide today to make peace with it and in it, because you are safe. And safety is, as you know, one of the core missions, pillars, values of House of Low, a sanctuary for the soul, my company. And, I started this show because I need the divine to send me more people like us that are willing to speak divine truth and wrap it up in a bow of light. That's what Mic Drop Sun Drip is. And for me, I think a lot of the energy right now that is moving through the planet, moving through Mama Gaia, Mother Earth, is y'all need to change how you relate to yourself and to each other, or I'm going to do it for you.
100%.
So I would love to go next to medicine, your ancestors, and also your connection to Mama Gaia.
Yeah, I love that. Let's get into it, baby. Let's get into it. So I'm not someone who was what's up, okay? What? I'm not someone who was raised with any kind of faith, if you will. Like I explored a lot of different things. I have a grandma that's super Catholic. We were babysat by people who were Jehovah's Witness, who were Baptists, who were all kinds of different things. But nothing ever really stuck. I just kind of went with the flow. I never really understood belief, faith. It just never really made any sense to me. My spiritual journey, I feel, didn't really start to develop, or I guess I didn't really start to understand what was happening until I hit that dance floor, until I hit that pole studio, when I was like, wait, how is this energy being able to be alchemized in me actually loving my reflection? And like what's actually happening here? Like the weight is dropping and the food habits are changing, this and that, but how is this actually happening? And so then we get into the faith and the belief in something that isn't really there, right? And so that was really hard at first. I read a lot of dope books like, the 4 Agreements, and started learning about crystals and this and that, and kind of hit it at the surface at first. Sometimes you got to start at the beginning and start slow. And then little by little, I started to just kind of, the puzzle pieces started to come. I think one of the main things that really connected me, like I think shot me outside of plant medicine, just starting to develop and expand that third eye and see things, and the veils are moving around. I will say that the transcendence of my uncle in 2019 was the moment. We love Beto. That was the moment. I've had other family members pass, but nobody that close. And when I had to understand that he now became my ancestor. So what does that mean? Like now, right after he passed away, I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel things. I see, like, when a butterfly passes me, I'm like, it feels like my uncle's spirit. When I visit the ocean, I feel like this big entity is talking to me, and I'm in the reflection of it. And again, doing so much plant medicine ceremonies. There's a little butterfly flying outside. He's right there, always. Exactly. And, doing these ceremonies and like expanding and expanding. And I'm one huge believer, and will always stand by. It doesn't matter if you do 45 billion ayahuasca ceremonies. It's about the integration of whatever modality, whether it's yoga, dance, singing, whatever. It's about how do you take that in the present moment, that beauty, that healing that you felt in that ceremony, and apply it to your regular Wednesday morning. What is that? And I feel like a lot of people are missing that. And for me, that's where the faith and the surrender comes in. And so my connection to my ancestors really comes from the connection that I have to myself, and really being able to be a clear channel. We talk a lot about being clear and having discernment and being able to detach from your own emotions to be able to receive things. And it's hard to explain. And I know all of my mystics out there will get it. We can't really put it in words. It's like, okay, I'm receiving this message. This is a channel. This is what's coming through. Okay, how are you receiving that? I can't tell you what, it's a shift in energy. It's like Brenda gets put to the side and like uncle is just coming through. And, you know, I always tell people, like, anyone who knows me knows that my community and my surrender and like the faith that I have in my ancestors comes first. That's why I can't have partners who don't believe in their ancestors, or I can't be around people who don't believe in the beyond. You don't have to be in exact alignment. But if you don't believe that there's anything outside of us, it's hard for us to even live, you know, and relate because our lifestyles are different. And so I'm someone now, you know, that has been working on her nervous system for so many years. And a part of that, outside of the psychology of it and the physical of it, it's really looking up and understanding, like, there's an army of ancestors up there, like literally here with the help in their hands, waiting for the answers. Like, here, you guys, you're not asking the right questions, so we're not giving you the right answers. But until you connect with us, until you do your meditations, until you touch the ground, until you get into the water, until you breathe appropriately, you're not going to connect to us fully. And I think for me, it's like all of those modalities that get me closer to them. We can feel them in this room because our daily life is like opening that channel for us to connect with them, right? And so I think in my practices and what I do and what I speak, even when I move, it's this direct connection. My body is moving with what yes. And, you know, we were talking at the very beginning how, you know, we've waited many lifetimes for this. A lot of our abuelas are sitting right here around us thinking, I did not get a chance to roar in the same way that Lo and B are roaring. I didn't get a chance to, you know, wear the halter top and show a little titty. I didn't get, I didn't get a chance to have cute white toes. I didn't get a chance to share my voice. Like, how it's almost, I feel even, wisdom. It's wisdom, right? And they had this, but they never allowed themselves that opportunity. The environment that they had didn't allow that. No. Now here we are as granddaughters, as great-granddaughters, as daughters, even for our mothers that are still living, and being that roars. And we can take up space because we know that the army of ancestors are there. I love to say, if a human isn't going to be in your corner, at least you have an army of ancestors and angels and so many guides that are going to be there with you. And really, that's all that we need.
Mic drop. That's a mic drop. Okay?
Mic drop, sun drip.
You know it. We're dripping in here. I think one of the pieces that hits me hard is the cycles we're breaking when it comes to embodiment of our sexuality. That the women in our lineages and us in other lives could not embody. It was too dangerous. It was too risky. It was taken advantage of often. And we feel, you know, what I've been noticing a lot is I'm feeling the block ancestrally when I'm going to step out and do something like that. Even this show, I feel that line behind me that's like, oof, be careful, just be careful. They're rooting, but they're also, there's an energetic on the earth plane of when they were here. Oh,
they're a little triggered a little bit, I think.
For sure. And there's like, you know, talk about hiding. That's all they ever did.
Yeah.
And I think that to be seen in this world, in a world that does have duality, we'll talk about that. B is a master teacher of duality, and actually accepts it. I don't very well, but B accepts duality. I look up to source and go, but why is there duality here? Like, can't we get rid of that? Okay. So, you know, one of the things that I think is so important for people to do in their healing journey is find how and where they can connect to this planet. For me, it's the ocean. A lot of it is the ocean. For others, it's mountains, rivers, ponds, desert, forest, sacred forest is divine, right? Wherever it is, because nature, for me, the Mama Ocean has truly healed me. Even this year, I am blessed to live very close where I can walk, and it's a very sacred area where I can walk. Rocky coastline, and there's so much energy there. And without her, without that ritual, I wouldn't even be doing this show. I cannot stress that enough. Mama Earth is what heals us. Okay. That's why we're here. That's why we're on this planet. And I think a lot of people are almost afraid of the planet. There's so much fear here. They're scared in the body.
Yeah.
They don't know what the hell this all is. And the Mama Earth is calling everyone forward to connect with her, to connect with all the energies of the planet. The planet holds ancient codes of magic and wisdom and abundance and love and light. And so what would you offer to people watching and listening about how to start connecting to this planet?
It's a beautiful question. I truly feel like I'm meant to help that beginner, like, frequency, if you will, of people who are barely starting their self-love journeys or barely starting to connect to the universe. I get a lot of those questions like, okay, I hear all the things, the faith, the surrender. Give me steps. Like, what do I actually do? I can have faith, I can, connect, but tangible stuff. Go outside, take your shoes off, go to the beach and no shoes. I hate seeing people on the beach with like sneakers on. No, like foot to sand, bro. Foot to sand. And it's those little things like adding 5 minutes of your day of just cruising by the beach, cruising by the water. If you don't have water near you, even listening to the sounds of water is going to do a little bit, right? To be able to get you into that mindset. I'm a big believer in waking up 5 minutes earlier to breathe properly, to just sit and be with that morning stillness. So many of us run from stillness. So many of us run from calm and tranquility and being alone and all those things, right? It's a big part of the human experience to learn how to wholeheartedly enjoy your own space. If we run away from it so much. And so when I started to wake up earlier, it allowed me to bask in my own energy before the city wakes up, before when the birds are still like lightly chirping as they're getting louder and louder. You get to sit with that. And so to me, it's like 5 minutes, drink a tea, try tea instead of coffee, drink more water throughout the day. There's little things, I'm the extremist that loves to go do all the wild ceremonies in the jungle. And I highly recommend that, but that doesn't have to be that. It really doesn't have to be that. It can be looking at the sun and the moon and appreciating it more than you usually do. Obviously for eye health purposes, yes, talking to it. I love it when you can have dates with the sun and the moon. I love having dates with the moon and just like flirting with the moon and having this beautiful energy of like being seen, like the moon sees us, right? It's yummy, it's pleasurable. It's almost like you get to be coy, like, why are you looking at me so brightly like that? It's romanticizing. I need to get back on this, but I used to romanticize pouring water into a glass and really like setting my little candle and like the ice slowly in there and then dripping the water, in the glass in the mason jar and just drinking it that first sip. Like, that's so, and that's simple, right? Again, you don't have to do extreme stuff. It's really romanticizing what is already in presence, right? And expressing love in infinite amount of ways. And so the little by little, you'll start to feel that energy from the sun and you'll feel that energy from the moon and the ocean, because all the ocean and everything around us, all they want is to be seen too. I'm a big believer that the ocean is the universe really in general is experiencing herself through all of us, A through Z. So when we're angry, when we're mad, we're sorrow, the tornadoes come, the earthquakes come. She's really experiencing herself in her totality. She gives us beauty, and all that we see is this natural beauty that we see. But then there's a lot of disaster when we talk about the duality and the yin and yang that has to exist in this world. In this particular era, we're moving into new stuff. But up until now, we've existed in this duality because it's had to be here. And so when you see it that way, I feel like you start to accept and understand the chaos is a part of it. And the more that we resist it, the more we're like removing the idea that we are everything. You don't get to just be light. You don't get to just be peachy and roses. And that's a lie. Nobody is that. We're humans. We are here to experience everything, all kinds of emotions, if we all allow ourselves to. That includes rage. That includes frustration. What do you do when you feel those? Go to the ocean. Give it to her. I remember I had this really powerful mushroom ceremony one time and I was struggling. It was really overwhelming. And my tia was like, literally give it to Pachamama. Just give it to her. Like, take it off of your body and tell her to give it, like to take it from you. And I did that, and I sat on the ground, and I literally just like off my body. I was like, please, I can't take this. This is overwhelming. Like, help me. And I could just feel her like taking the energy away from my body. And that's why she's here. But it has to be this reciprocal energy. We can't just trash the water and trash and trash and trash and trash and expect that she's going to reciprocate love. She's going to reciprocate a fucking flood. She's going to reciprocate a tsunami if we don't take care of her. And so it's really like when I realize that I am not only nature around me, but I am you, I am the neighbor, I am everybody. You have more compassion, you have more understanding. You can lead with love a lot easier when you see yourself in everybody.
Boom. Let's just take that in. Breathe that magic in. Breathe it in. We got to breathe more. Romanticizing life is such a powerful reminder for everyone. Romanticize every single thing you're doing during the day. Everything is romantic. Everything. And everything should feel like it should turn you on. It should be orgasmic. It should be pleasurable. We are completely, the dark energies don't want you to be in any pleasure. So do it to spite them.
Right.
But I feel strongly that, there's so much permission we're all constantly giving ourselves for how we feel, why we feel that way, what we actually want to do, what we actually want to create, who we actually are, who we actually want to become. And I'm kind of over it. Like, I'm over all the permission. It's like, just do it. Like, we need to just leap,
just do it.
Take the leap. And I want to ask you I'm being guided to ask this next question. I would have never thought this would come up.
Ooh, okay.
But talk to me about taking off the masks that we all wear.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, they're saying like we need to talk about ripping these masks off.
Rip it off.
I think one of the painful experiences you and I live is that as we've gotten more authentic and real with who we really are, the masks everyone's wearing become so obvious and apparent all of a sudden.
Yes.
And it's painful to watch because not everyone chooses to take them off. Talk to me about your perspective on that and any masks you wore that you were forced to rip off or chose to rip off. And how did you do it? How do you do it?
That's such a great question. And I feel like it's an ever evolving experience, right? Like the more that we grow, the more we get into spaces where I'm like, shit, I got to put it back on a little bit, like I'm not ready for this. And even if we just want to take it back to, I think at the core of humans is people pleasing. For everyone. I don't care who you are. We have all wanted to people please in some kind of way.
But why do we people please? What do we think we're going to get from that?
I feel like we want to be loved. We want to be loved in a particular way. We want to be seen.
In a particular way.
And that key right there is
conditional love.
Yes, that's the difference, right? So it's like, okay, I'm going to do everything that Lauren says exactly as she says it because I really want her to like be happy. I don't want her to be mad at me. I don't want her to like be frustrated. I'm just going to do everything, even if it means that it goes against what I want to do or my comfort or like, I just need you to be okay. If I'm anxious as fucking dismantling, that's fine. You need to be okay though. No, baby. That's how we grew up. And I think for me personally, being an older sister, growing up in a single parent household with a Mexican mom and Mexican family, that's just how it is. You put yourself to the side to make sure that everybody else is okay. Everybody else needs to be okay. And if that means that you're running yourself to the ground, that's fine. If your brother's good, that's all that matters. You got your brother, okay, good. I don't care. You figure yourself out. So it's like that big sister syndrome, that like that Mexican like tradition. There's a lot of toxic masculinity in our culture, and a lot of our female divine feminine energy basks in that and leads with that, especially our single mamas. And one thing is like, to answer the question, detaching from the fact that our parents or anybody owes us a thing. Nobody owes us anything. And I feel like that's one of the hardest things to understand in this world, because you think, of course, our parents needed to give us our basic needs. They need to feed us. They need to clothe us. They need to do all these things. They really didn't have to do shit. They really didn't have to do anything. And if you were a child that was, you know, had one of the most traumatic experiences, it's not about you chose that life, so now you have to deal with it. No, it's about growing up to understand like the bigger, grander scheme of things as to what happened in past lifetimes that led you here. What happened in your parents' lives that didn't allow them to show up in the way that they could have for you, but now it's in your hands. Now what can you do about it, right? And so it's just detaching from all of the external, and that's really hard as a, you know, growing up as a big girl, getting bullied my entire life. Like, we get to adulthood and we get into these toxic relationships. I got into numerous toxic relationships, wanting to be loved, people pleasing, getting abused, but it's like, okay, I'm still here because it's half-ass love, and I'm a big girl. Who the fuck is gonna want me? I'm ugly. I have this man right now and he's loving me, even if it's the shittiest, most traumatic love, he's still choosing me. And I think a lot of us just want to be chosen. I know that we want to be chosen, and we will take anything when it's conditional to be chosen. Boom. And when I flipped that, when I rewired that and said, wait, I can't have other people choose me. I have to choose myself. Where do I get to choose me? I'm out here searching for daddy, mommy, man, friends, show up for me, love me. You guys don't call me enough. You don't hug me enough. You don't whatever. But I'm like, where the fuck do I get to choose myself? Where does that come into play? And I didn't grow up learning what self-love is. I don't think any of us did.
No one does.
And none of us did. So it really took getting into that really abusive relationship and hitting rock fucking bottom to say, I hate myself. I hate the person that's staring back at me. I don't and right now, like, to be honest, I'm a little thicker than I would like to be, but I can see it and be like, all right, time for change. I still love this girl though. Back in the day, it was like, I couldn't exist outside of the hate that I had for myself. And it took the modalities like pole dancing, and it took the plant medicine, and it took people loving me exactly as I am to start to get rid of that. And when you understand, I think the self-exploration journey is where you get to dismantle all the conditions. When I said, you know what, I am a big girl, but I'm a motherfucking pole dancer. That's not a lot of, not a lot of people can say that. And still being proud of who you are, you know, being proud of that. Like, I may not be where I'm at, but I'm getting there. And little by little, you know, and also taking the L's, like seeing like, okay, I'm a big girl, I'm in shorts. I remember when I had like a ton of cellulite on my legs, and I would say, fuck it, I'm gonna wear shorts anyways. And I would get all those stares and all those people, you know, looking like, like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be out here. These are my legs right now. Haters. I don't care. You know what I mean? Haters. And it takes just confronting it. It takes you getting into it. And then you becoming somebody who is also someone who loves unconditionally and receives unconditionally. It really is that self-exploration journey. When you find soul family, when you are starting to develop your tribe, you have people who are holding you in love. So the haters can come in, and, you know, you can get psyched out. Trust me, imposter syndrome comes in at all phases. Sometimes I'm self-sabotaging myself so much that I'm like, heal up, it's done. I'm over it. I'm not going to do this anymore. I can't take the 3D human experience anymore. But then when the self-exploration journey, as well as the purpose journey, why are we here? When we choose to find those things out and stay planted there, nothing else matters. When I get that question today, we talk about boundaries, right? We talk about like having liabilities in our life that are going to mess up the path. And one thing that I've learned is I care so much about my community. I care so much about my community tasting a little bit of liberation. I've tasted liberation in ways that people will die without tasting. So my life's duty is to say, I've tasted it a little bit, and I want you to taste it in your own way. But that's up to you, because the medicine isn't within, right? We're just paving the path in some kind of way. And so when you stay planted in that, when I see the visions of my community of women loving their bodies exactly as they are, the haters don't fucking matter. My connection to my ancestors is what matters to me. And every day I wake up and they tell me, stay on this path, stay on this journey. You are the person that you are. We created you like this. You have created yourself to be this way in your highest version so that you can expand your community. No person, not a parent, not a friend, not a stranger on the street, is going to make me sway away from my life's mission. And that started with loving myself and believing that I had one.
Whew. Hot damn. I love you.
I love you. I love you.
Give me that voice. Thank you for sharing everything that you shared, being so raw. Vulnerable isn't even the word. You're just raw. And also so fucking polished at the same time. It's definitely, it's one of your like masterful gifts, you know, and I think what you just, all that wisdom you just spit is going to help a lot of people, because we need to be talking about how we're doing these things.
Yes.
It's not just the little memes on Instagram and the little quotes, you know, it's how is someone actually, what is the process of taking off the mask?
Yes.
What is the process of healing from grief and loss and abandonment, or learning you are worthy of everything you desire? How are people actually
how do you do
doing
it?
that?
And that's what we're here to teach.
That's what we have to teach. And that I'm grateful you and I are courageous enough, and we know this is all very temporary, that we're just saying the damn thing and doing the damn thing. I don't, why else have we lived it if we're not here to share it and teach it?
We're not here to gatekeep. And I feel like that's one of the biggest missions that we have, is to share it, right?
Yes.
To your point, like, why did we did we choose these bodies? For people to just be fucking haters every time we walk into a room? No. So my medicine is to trigger you. Whether you take that and you run with it, that's on you. Whether you go left or you go right, that's on you. But we are here to expand you and to help you take off that mask and not be afraid to live in your totality and your most authentic self, because it really is sad to see people living and just these layers of masks, not even just one, just like layers and layers. And as a dancer, I see that a lot in the entertainment world. I see that in the dance industry, the music industry. People, like, you'll have like your prophetic poets, like fucking Tupac type shit. But then they'll show up like just so material and so 3D. What are you afraid of? Why are you afraid of showing us that rawness, of not being the glitz and the glam and what Hollywood wants you to be? It's hard. And I will say that there's a lot of darkness in all of this. There's a lot of seeping and navigating through that, because you can get lost in there. You can dwell in it, right? But it's like you have to know who you are to recognize what is a mask and what isn't. You have to be able to, like, so planted in who you are and love yourself so deeply that you can say, fuck it, this is my voice and I'm going to roar. And if you don't like it, that's fine. You can keep scrolling. You can unfollow. You can whatever. You can go find a different
Mute it up,
right? You can block me. You can do whatever you want. But that's not going to stop me from living in my totality, because there's at least one individual in our lives, in the world, that needs this.
Mic drop. Now, where we're going to go next is we're going to talk about romantic love.
Ooh!
Divine love. You know, it's just a little bit challenging for you and I. It's fine. It's totally fine.
Just a tap.
And I want to share a little bit about the background here.
Please do.
First of all, there's a karmic reason why it's been a bit more of an intense journey for us. It's hard for most people because the way we relate romantically on this planet is a little toxic, very toxic. In fact, there's a lot of power and control, games, possession. We expect our partner to fill all our holes and, you know, make us whole. And that's not what they're here to do. Love is truly patient and kind and all those beautiful things. But to live that is very different. For me, personally, there's all the karmic stuff, which I've already talked a lot about. But most importantly, I cannot. In fact, I will not be in any relationship that is surface level, that is for showing your best and hiding the rest, and that is for social currency. I won't do it. I would actually rather be alone.
Yes. And
what I'm learning is I'm definitely not going to be alone in this life. And even that's been B knows a lot about that. Yeah. And so I think that you and I are on the cusp of coming into that season where we're going to be coming into union with our beloveds. And there's just a lot to unpack there. Yeah. And to your point, as the thick curvy, loud. It's one thing to be thick and curvy. Then you're loud and have a huge throat chakra that channels the divine. That's a little bit of a triple whammy for most people, right? Our presence speaks for itself. Yes. I feel like our aura is in the room long before we even get in it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And that's why the pain of what B and I have lived, we've had similar lives. And when we met and united in this life, in the physical, it was like, oh my God, the circumstances are different, but it's basically the same themes. Same themes.
Yeah.
And so the level of how, like, it has taken us 30-ish more years to get to the place where we're actually comfortable sitting here. Being loud as fuck. Yes. Dropping straight truth.
And purple gear and shit.
And I see the vision now. I know you see visions for us too of them coming in, the partners coming in. And all of a sudden we are not just alone anymore. We've gotten good at it. We don't like it, but we've gotten a lot of people have this experience, but it's not talked about enough. Right. And that's why I want to speak on it now. Those that feel alone in this life, they feel they don't have that support or that partner. I promise you this, they're on their way. The new earth does not change or shift if we're not in union with our counterpart. Boom. That's straight from the divine source.
Mic drop.
That's what I channel all the time. We are not here to be alone. So not right now, especially. We have to be with our counterpart and the ultimate, like the partner that's really the most divine for us and aligned. And that's the thing. When I have had to, as you know, I've had to really prepare. It's an ongoing preparation for this man coming in. And, the more I go into it, the more they show me that I really have to make space for him, create space for him. And also, who is the Lolo that arrives and that is in the world when that man is standing next to me?
Right.
And one of the things I will humbly say is that I will never, ever, could never, would never, simply would never be the most powerful version of me without that man. Nope. And when he actually is here, it's going to be even more sobering for me of how he's been there all along. And I feel that with our partners. They've been there all along in spirit. Yeah. And so how do you see yourself opening up to divine love after all these years of abuse, being mistreated, being underappreciated? How do you see yourself creating the space for that to even receive that man?
Yeah, that's a beautiful question. I feel like this is the opening of the portal for us to dive so deeply into this in our careers, and as you know, we got stuff cooking. We know it. And I won't get into too much detail about it, but I reunited with my dad, as you know, after 13 years.
Like Lionsgate 2024,
literally
like a month ago.
Yeah. On 8/8, talked again after 13 years. And
miracles are real. When we got to say it again.
When I tell you that I spent 13 years mad as fuck, resentful as fuck, enraged, fuck my dad. If I ever see him again, I'm going to talk shit. If I ever see him again, it's going to go down. Like, just really hurt. And again, my modalities, my dancing, my plant medicine, going through different relationships that were never as toxic as that big one, but still, had their toxic traits, and understanding, then getting into the self-exploration journey, right? And seeing like, okay, for so long I blamed the man. For so long, I was always nagging because it's your fault and it's your fault and it's your fault. Until I started to hold myself accountable for how I was showing up. It's like, I'm not showing up the best either. So it's like this tug of war of
mirror there.
We're mirroring, right? And it was when I started to realize these men are my mirrors. I'm attracting them where they're at because I'm there. I may not have been the abusive person that my ex was, but my vibration was just as low as his was. Because he was able to come into my life.
Receive it.
Exactly. So when I started to realize that, I was like, wait, okay, now let's be more intentional. I took like a 2-year break from like 28 to 30. And I was like, no, I just can't. No men, no nothing. I need to just focus. Did that, turned 30.
All in on self.
No sex, nothing. Went into 30 and I said, okay, I'm ready. I'm a big believer that you have to do a lot of self-work first. But there is a big chunk, to your point, that you won't expand into unless you're in relation. There's only so much work we can do on our own. I can't talking about integration. I can't practice any of what I've learned on my own if I don't have a man to practice it with, right? We can practice it in friendships and family, but it's different. And so I felt at 30, I got into a space where I could now test myself in relation. And since then, you know, these last almost 3 years have been maneuvering through numerous amounts. Okay, that sounds real bad, but, you know, men that have showed up in particular ways. Great. Some of the best men that I have ever dated. Some of the men that have taught me the most about who I am. Because now I have this channel of like, okay, this isn't in alignment. How can I show up better? What did I do to make this not be in alignment? And always just walking away from each one, just knowing exactly what's happening. And so this whole time, just releasing resentment for my dad. And then, you know, I reunited with him in Lionsgate. And it was it just all of the resentment that I had just went away. Talk about that. Yes, I had all that resentment, and it was a little bit traumatic, the experience and how it happened. And so the wild story. I had to see angels were present. I had to search for him. I had to do all the things. And when I finally found him, I said, moving forward, I will build a relationship with my father. Nothing that he has ever done, no absence that he has ever had, no like bad relationship that I chose because he wasn't in my life. None of that matters. I, in my journey, have understood that I am the creator. I now get to have it in my hands. And if I want the husband, I know that reuniting with my father in a genuine way, not in like a, oh, fuck it, I'm just going to do it.
Pushing it or forcing it.
No forcing, just straight. I want this.
Or to yell at him.
Right, because baby B desperately needs this. Baby B needs this in order for baby B to be adult B and be a mother one day and be a wife.
And baby B needed to get prioritized over human adult ego.
Yes, exactly. And like you said, we can have if we wanted to, we could be in relationships. We could be fucking married. We could be mothers. But that's not what it's about. If we want epic love, if we want like the love that the man that's going to see us in our totality and love us in ways that we have never experienced before, that's not going to be in any Joe Schmo in the corner. We're not those kind of people. And so we have to take the steps. And my connection to my universe told me, you take these steps, you'll get there. We talk about how we talk to our future kids. My future daughter tells me, I'm here, girl. I'm here, but I'm not going to come in if you don't do the work. And I wholeheartedly believe that. I know that sounds crazy to some of y'all, but I know that I have connected to my daughter and her spirit is telling me it's not going to be the epic love that you want. I can come in right now and we can struggle more and we can suffer a little bit more, or you can do the work. And before dad comes and before I come, do the fucking work and it'll be seamless. There's always going to be work, right? We're ever evolving people, but we're waiting. We're having to be patient so that we can work on this vessel. We talk a lot about being able to receive that person, right? How are we going to be, if I'm cringing in this damn camera right now, how am I going to be able to not cringe when my man is like undressing me with, not even just on a sexual note, like when he's in my soul and sees me naked in the core of my being? How am I going to be able to hold that? How can I hold that? Only by discovering more parts of myself and continuing to do the work and continuing to say, now I have this relationship with my father. And the times that I've talked to him since 8-8 are, this is forever. We're not going to lose communication. I will bring you my grandkids. I will bring you your grandkids. I will bring you my partner. And my dad saying, you can bring me whomever you want, without any explanation, whether you have 1 kid or 10, whether you have the clothes on your back, only whatever. You always have space in my life. And to hear that after almost 33 years of not having that and seeking it in the most toxic men and seeking it in trying to have even relationships with my mother in like specific ways, or hoping that my brother shows up in a particular way, or hoping that my friends show up in a particular way, just begging the universe, like, give me the love that I have always wanted Why can't I just be seen? And it wasn't until I saw myself, I will forever say that. It wasn't until I saw myself that other people could see me. Because the person that I was trying to be seen as wasn't really me. It wasn't this person. It was a person that was still playing small. I wanted people to see me when I was small. And that's not how it works. You know, that's not what my soul wanted. My soul wants to be seen how I am right now. And not because I'm forcing like, see me, love me. No, because I embody what it is to love myself. And so people just want to pour in because they gravitate toward that energy. And because I've learned that unconditional love really is where it is. I've been able to see the love that my mom has tried to give me for almost 33 years, barely in these last 5 years, because I got rid of the conditions. Because I said, I want my mom to love me. I want her to say, I love you. I want her to hug me. And if she doesn't do those things, then it's not love. Then my mom doesn't care about me. And so I said, you know what? Let's look at the things. Let's be grateful for what we do have. We have a roof. We have a mom who still to this day busts her ass for us. We have an infinite list of things. When I started to look at that, I was like, dude, I've been loved this entire time. I've been craving it in so many other people and putting myself in so many toxic spaces only to have what I've always had. And that's why this new journey of evolution for me, I'm not running away from anything by moving out of my city. I have everything that I need already. I'm just exploring and going deeper. And it's in that work that we really turn the page.
I love you so much.
I love you.
Thank you for sharing that in your heart. And thank you for going first. You're a real leader on this planet. And I just want to honor you for that. And there is nothing more sobering than your spirit babies talking to you before they're here.
Right.
Mine talk to me as well.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's our father. Don't you screw it up. Well, you already know who it is. Or hey, we're going to need you to launch this show because we need you to be seen in the public. Hello. You know, one of the things I actually, we're psychic here. Remember, like really psychic. You see me in the camera? Like it's not a buzzword. Okay. So, and by the way, it's very difficult to walk this planet with these gifts, and B and I have them, and we're trusted with them. That's the thing, right? Like
it's a big responsibility.
I love when you spoke about, because we talked about when you reunited with your father, that blew open your aura and your energy field. It cleared out so much ancestral gunk in your aura. All that shit, all that crap that is not yours to carry anymore, blew wide open. And I just love that the vastness of our heart and how instantly when you heard that man's voice on the phone, all that pain or resentment gone. Because it's not really who you are. It's not who we are.
No.
We're not those emotions. No. We are pure love. Like it's not a buzzword. We are actually pure love.
Yeah.
And the second that, the divine delivered that to you and you had worked so hard to receive.
Bro.
I mean, the second that happened, everything transmuted. It's true Phoenix rising alchemy. And it was a miracle to witness and watch. And I'm honored to know your story. But yeah, I mean, our children are depending on us. Our ancestors, our guides, they are saying, stop playing small.
Yes.
Who are you playing this game for? Others?
Yeah.
They got to figure it out. They have unique karma. They have a unique soul. They have unique codes to contribute to Earth if they choose with their free will. And everyone has free will. But we know that destiny calls.
Yes.
You can try to run from your destiny. And the divine will say, nice try. So I want to end here. I want you to share. I want you to channel a bit. Feel what wants to come. Something's trying to come through. Definitely your uncle. We know he's busting in. But I want you to speak life and speak light into everyone listening and watching. Those that are struggling. Those that are on top right now but still feel empty inside. Those that have love yet have no love for themselves. Those that have a family yet feel alone in this world. Those that are struggling to overcome their deepest darkness from childhood, that they just cannot get there, no matter how many poles they climb and dances they do, and it's not working. Those that are on the edge of wanting to be out, what would you say to those people?
Man, when you describe that person, it just reminds me of me. And I think I love, one of the many reasons I love my community and this community, like social work, is because I see myself in everyone who doesn't love themselves. I see myself in everyone who's like terrified to wear the bathing suit, terrified to step into a dance class, terrified to do anything, to have that conversation, to say no to their mom, to stand up for themselves. Like, I see myself in all that. And I just want to tell y'all that, we hear this a lot, but we really are never alone. We really are never alone. And there's so many people. Look at us in our totality, right? Look at us in these women who know now how to take up space, who are like, I'm motherfucking here, whether you like it or not. And I'm going to exist authentically. Even for us, this shit is hard. Even for us, sometimes I don't want to get out of bed and be me because I know I have to be seen and because I know I have to expand. That's the purpose. And it's this resistance sometimes because I do want to be small. I want to be the person that nobody sees sometimes. But when you really think about why we are here and why we came back, that's what keeps me planted, and understanding that we truly are the medicine. And trust me, I'm thinking about all the times where still to this day, I dismantle completely. And I think to myself, like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I here? Why did I choose this life? Why am I almost 33 years old? Thinking that at this time I was going to be a mother, thinking at this time I was going to have the career that I wanted, thinking at this time so many things were going to be different, but also seeing the miracles of what it is to not have kids right now and have the opportunity to spend more time exploring myself so that when my kids come, they can see their mother and be fucking proud of her, and they can see their mother and their father together and have an example of what true, epic, like genuine, unconditional love looks like. And so I just want to remind you guys that you truly are like everything that you have ever wanted, everything that you want, every desire, everything that you want to create. It is in your womb. It's in your body. It's in your heart. It's in your throat. It's in your toes. It's in your mind. It's in your soul. Anything, you just ask for guidance. Ask and you truly shall receive. Everything that I have is because I asked for it. Is because I prayed and prayed and prayed. And I told myself, I need to expand my voice. I need platforms on podcasts and social media and these things. I want to share about this liberation. I want to share about this self-love. Where can I do that? And the universe allows me to meet people like Lo and to have experiences like this. I'm deeply honored to be able to walk life with people like you and exist with people like you. And people like you help me understand that I deserve to be in my fullness. And there's nothing wrong with that. And you love me from A through Z and everything in between. Even if when I'm not the most peachy and when I'm not the most bubbly, like, you see that. And I want you guys to not run away from that. Don't run away from your darkness. Don't run away. Rage is sacred. Depression, anxiety, those are all human experiences that are temporary. And joy is also a human experience that we came here to really, really live out. I will forever believe in the duality until we get to the new era where it doesn't exist anymore. But as we chose this life, we chose to be humans. So we have to be planted in the fact that darkness and chaos is a part of it. But we don't have to embody that. We don't have to stay there. So don't be afraid to dive into your darkness. I hear a lot of people say, like, I took mushrooms or I did this or I did whatever modality and I went X place and I just retracted from it because it was too dark for me. Allow yourself to navigate through it. Push a little bit more and see what happens. Cry a little bit more. Dismantle a little bit more. You know yourself. You know what's going to be too much for you. Understand your body and your emotions enough to be able to say, right now, I'm going to cry all damn day. I'm going to give myself 24 hours to break. But when I wake up tomorrow, I'm going to be a new bitch. I am going to get on the other side of that and going to walk with light. But I one of the main things I'm here to remind people is that we are our darkness. We are our darkness. Just as much as we are our light, we are our darkness. And we have to embody all of it as one. We're everything. So I don't want you guys to ever forget that we are all in this together. And if you want to find somebody who's going to be an accountability buddy or just your tribe, we're out here. We are out here building these communities. And if it's not us specifically, it can be somebody from our movements that is the one that's, your accountability buddy, or we may make a connection to then you go to another healer and heal. That's one thing too. I'm not here to gatekeep. We're not here to say you have to be with House of Low and heal up with B. No, whatever floats your boat, but do it. Whatever it is that you want to do, I want this to be a reminder. If you needed a reminder to do and chase your fucking dreams, this is it. Let us be the ones to remind you that you're not going to get to where you want to be without action. This is action. I'm so proud of you. I want to end with that. I am so proud of you because finding Soul Tribe is one of the biggest keys to living life this peaceful. And you are one of the main components in mine. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud to sit here in this studio. I'm like, okay, I'm calling this Lo will be the first millionaire friend that I got. Because, girl, you're right there. You're right there. And not even just millionaire. You're already a millionaire in all the other ways, right? We're billionaires, quadrillionaires, and all the abundance that we have energetic, right? But them finances is coming, baby. They're coming. And I want to bring back your title of abundance queen. And that is what you pour out into this world. And as the first guest of what is going to be an amazing show. Oh my God. I can't wait to be a listener and see all the beautiful people that you bring on here and all the nuggets that you share with us. You truly are absolutely a new era leader. You're a leader in this one, but you're absolutely a new era leader. And it's just an honor. It's an honor to be a reflection of you. It's an honor to be seen by you. It's an honor to be given these kinds of opportunities. You've given me so many opportunities that I haven't been able to find for myself. And you expand me. Like, I feel like I'm a wealthy. I walk into this neighborhood.
You are, baby.
What's up? This is my neighborhood.
You got those
I'm
abundance
rich. Like, you do that for us. You allow us to see ourselves in our totality. And that's something I can't even do because I came to you in a very scarcity mindset. And you really helped me to see the other side of that. You really helped me to see that I can be a millionaire one day too. You really helped me to see that it's not even about that fake money that's in the bank account. It's about how we adorn ourselves. It's about how we move, how we walk, how we romanticize our lives and who we are. And so for all of you out there, if you're not following her already, please do so. House of Low is one of the most pivotal movements that we have here in order to transcend us into that new era. And it's only the beginning, baby. It's only the beginning. So I'm so proud of you. I love you so much.
Your love knows no bounds. To receive the love you're capable of giving is truly one of the greatest gifts I'll ever receive in this life. And thank you for standing by me and being a protector and seeing me so deeply and pushing me to do things like this and do the damn thing and jump off the diving board. Thank you for embodying your beautiful body, mind, and soul. Thank you for breaking the cycles you're breaking. I always see that line of ancestors behind you. We channel for each other. And I always see them and they're just seriously standing in awe of all that is you. Thank you for the love you pour into me every single day. And you are seriously a pillar in my life. And I would not have made it through some of the most painful experiences if it wasn't for you. You are a pillar of, it's beyond strength. You're resilient and powerful. You're a true goddess and a warrior. And I just want you to know that I will always be here for you. And I can't wait to see you change the world.
I'm the scout, baby. I got you.
You know it. She goes into the woods first and she goes, it's clear. So,
and if it's not, no, next one, next village.
All right. I need you to share with everybody about you, how they can work with you, how they can follow along on your journey that you're embarking on.
Yes.
Anything you want to share about Heal Up.
Yes, I love it. Well, I will be moving this week, actually, to Mexico, and I'm going to be a little bit of a nomad for a little bit. But you can find everything on Heal Up with B, and that's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever platform you have. Heal Up with B in the link trees and all the links. You can find my podcast. You can find my blog, which is where I'm going to really dive deeply into. So if you want to follow me on my journeys, I'm going to be a little bit of a travel blogger, show you guys what I'm doing. So make sure you sign up for my Substack. My Substack and the podcast will be the two big ways that I'm going to be sharing. I try to move a little bit away from, so being so tapped into social media and just creating those platforms in abundance. So Heal Up with B everywhere. It's spelled as you think that it's spelled. I love it. I love you guys. You can Google me real quick. Look up Heal Up with B. You'll find all the stuff. I love you guys. And this is one of many times. I love you. I love you. And I wish you the very best.
Thank you, my love. Thank you for being here, my girl. My sister. I love you. Mwah. We out.
We out, baby.
Thank you so much for listening to Mic Drop Sundrip. Join the community at houseoflow.co/micdropsundrip. And remember, without truth, there can be no light. And without light, there can be no power.